Today I speak with Serbi. Serbi has a HR background in tech organizations, and Serbi just launched her own startup. Welcome, Serbi. Nice to meet you. How are you today?
Thank you so much. Same here, and nice to meet you. And hi, guys. I'm Surbhi, co-founder of Redefined Skills. I recently joined Redefined Skills completely, and I do have a background of 15 years of experience in HR, where I worked from the ground up, where I set up the whole organization of my own and closely worked with the CEO of the company. So I thought it's better to work for my own organization now. So if we'll talk about Redefined Skills, it's a dynamic recruitment firm which connect talent with the both IT and non-IT clients, right? So we help companies in the talent acquisition, and we are taking care of end-to-end recruitment for the organizations, and we do have clients pan India. So our forte is startup, but definitely we are aiming for the MNCs as well. But because it's a small startup and we don't have a big name at the moment, so we are still struggling in that area. Yeah.
Mhm. So you mentioned you gained the experience in launching a business uh, during your employee time, right? Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, in 2019, we started Redefine Skills with my partner Vinay, and we know that how uncertain this industry is. So we decided that I'll do my full time job with this business, so that because I have seen lots of my people in network who had a failure in this industry. So I just wanted to make sure once I'll have a full trust that yes, I can run this organization, only then I'll switch completely to this Redefined Skills. And fortunately, unfortunately, COVID hit that time,
Mhm.
and we had to spend 2 3 years. We have to cop up with the COVID situation, and now we have a good clients at the moment. So I thought it's good time to move fully for the Redefined Skills.
Mhm. Yeah, I believe probably during COVID it was kind of like easy to acquire new talents or to get a pool of talents, but the job openings were just not existing, right?
Yeah. Actually, it was a very hazy all around. People were not sure if they should hire more people, or people were scared
Mm.
of changing the jobs
Mm.
because things were very, very uncertain that time. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I understand. And how is the situation now on the employer market, job
At the
market?
moment, things are really good. After COVID, or especially during COVID, it was a tech boom, right? People were
Hmm.
hiring engineers like anything.
Hmm.
And but if we'll talk about the current situation, it's quite stable at the moment.
Hmm.
People are not running behind the tech hire, but yes, it's a balance between IT and non-IT hiring at the moment. But during COVID or even post COVID, for some years, it was more focused on the engineering hiring, and people were ready to pay 100% hike on their last packages.
Hmm.
But things are quite stable at the moment, and companies are now focused on IT and non-IT both kind of hirings. But if we'll compare with last couple of years, things are comparatively low
Hmm.
in terms of hiring.
Do
Lots of
companies
layoffs are also happening.
Oh, okay. Do
Yeah.
companies now hire more for hybrid and remote work?
If we'll talk specifically in India,
Mhm.
now, yes, we do have some clients who are ready to be a remote company, but hybrid is something where people don't want to go for. They want people to work from office. So most
Mhm.
of our clients, the biggest fight right now, because during COVID, lots of people moved back to their hometown, and the pool was very, very big that time. But now they don't want to come back to the metro cities to work, because they know the work can be done remotely. But companies, if we'll talk about the companies, they prefer people in office at the moment, because we have observed, because I have worked with the organization as well, and it was a very big challenge to ask people, even the current employees, to come, ask them to come to office, or manage to work from office completely. So it is still there, but companies don't prefer hybrid. They prefer full time work from office. and some companies moved completely to the remote, and that is a different kind of organizations altogether. But most of the
Interesting.
company want people to work from office.
Like more, the majority of clients of your clients are in the tech sector, correct? Because
Yeah.
I see globally a trend towards more hybrid and remote settings in tech. So you're saying in India it's a reverse trend at the moment?
Yes, yes. Companies are preferring people to coming back to office.
Hmm. Do you believe that people are more effective, efficient when they are working in an office?
Yes, definitely, definitely. Being a nature of the organization, I have observed, because it's very difficult to track the work remotely, or
Hmm.
as well as the motivation of the employees. I have seen people got demotivated while working remotely. So having an experience in the organization, coming to office helps them to learn peer to peer. So that is the another kind of learning. So yeah, I think people can perform better if they are working from office.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, or in hybrid models. It really depends, right, on the self-sufficiency of the employee.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, you need to have self-motivation, and yes, you need to be able to work in your environment. But I believe it depends a little bit on how you set it up. Like for myself, for example, I experience much more efficiency if I can run my business remotely. And that's not only because I'm traveling around meeting with clients and speaking on events, but it also allows me to be faster in the process, right? I jump in a call, I go tick, 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 and then I can go directly into another meeting on the other side of the planet, right? And I can take my introvert time where I just like switch off the call and I really focus on my work. Um, I believe it depends on the role you have in the organization.
So yeah, it depends on the role for sure, but apart from that, it depends on the individual as well. If
Mhm.
we'll talk about people who are new to the career, don't know the understanding of ownership, and they are trying to learn things, and if they'll come to office, they'll interact with people and will learn. But people who are already experienced and working so long, and they can work independently, and if it is not a team role, then remote is perfectly fine. But
Mhm.
if your role needs lots of collaboration and everything, I think in that case work from office is a better option, and person who is new to the career will learn a lot
Okay,
if the
that's
person
true.
will work from
Mhm.
office.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So you mentioned you launched a business earlier with a partner already. How is it at the moment? Are you running the business all on your own, or what is your setting?
Yeah, I do have a team of 10 recruiters with me, and
Hmm.
I do have a partner. So
Hmm.
if we'll talk about Vinay, he's my partner, and he's taking care of the client acquisition part,
Hmm.
and he's interacting with the clients, and I'm the one who is handling the team here and also taking care of the marketing part
Hmm.
of the organization.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're sourcing mainly tech staff. Is that correct? Talents in the tech sector?
No, we are taking care of tech and non-tech both, but yes, most of our clients are having tech requirements. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, understood. All right.
70/30, we can say.
Okay. Okay. So, and then consider that you started a business prior COVID already. You're a couple of years in the game already. So, what were your major challenges in starting up a business?
The biggest challenge was competing with the established brands,
Hmm.
right? So, if we'll talk about redefined skills, people were not aware about our company. And if we'll talk about the big names, they always prefer people who are already have big brand in the market,
Hmm.
right? So, see, if we'll talk about our agency, you don't have to pay until you're not able to close the position,
Hmm.
right? But still, if we'll talk about the time they have to invest with the vendors, they don't want to go with the small organization. They always prefer with the big names, so
Hmm.
that they have a surety that they will not waste our time. So that is the biggest challenge I think we faced, and that is the reason we don't have any big name associated with us yet. But yes, we are doing really good in the small organization and the startups, because I have seen in the organizations who do provide, if you're sharing one requirement, I would like to be clear here that we are not focusing on the bulk hiring. We are focusing on the lateral or leadership hiring only. So if any organization is sharing one position, I have seen consultancies are offering 10 profiles in a day for that particular role. So we are not working that way. We do share two or maximum three profiles for that particular role in a day, so
Hmm.
that will not waste our time as well as the client's time,
Hmm.
because they have to invest time in screening people, interviewing people. So we do two layer of screening for all the candidates we are sharing to the clients. One our recruitment team, and there is one more layer in between where they do the screening level L2 level of screening before sharing it to the client, so that we can save the time,
Hmm.
right? And we have seen that we were able to close the position in 2 weeks. And we got other clients with the word of mouth of our current clients. So basically results work, means the power of results over reputation. Like, we didn't have the reputation in the market, but our results speak out for us.
Hmm.
So that is something we did. And
Hmm.
we are majorly focusing on the quality part rather going for the quantity.
So you are saying that with the extra you provide, and the customized service for your clients is how you overcame the challenge of multiple large competitor in your market.
Yes, yes, yes. We work
Hmm.
really hard. And whenever we get any client, we make sure that we research a lot about the organization as well as their requirements.
Hmm. Okay, so if we have a startup entrepreneur like listening to the podcast, watching the podcast right now, and in the need of like any tech staff or anything related to their startup, how can they get in contact with you?
We do have our own website where they can reach out to us, and uh, like they can share the email, the requirements with us, and we will definitely, someone from our team will definitely get in touch with them and help them with our proposal and with the details of the organization.
Hmm, great. All right.
Yeah.
And how about yourself as a founder, right? You mentioned the challenges during COVID. You had to hold on with your business. I guess you invested a lot of time, money, and other resources into the business. So
Yeah.
how is your mm, let's say your work-life balance? Like, how did you manage your your mental strength during COVID, knowing that basically the business is going to suffer for an uncertain period of time? How did you get through it?
So the thing is, as I mentioned, that I have seen lots of people who failed running their consultancies. So I have learned from that that don't invest in one go, right? We never invest at all once. We spread it gradually, right? So we always had a backup. We always keep in mind that, okay, I was the one who was recruiting people for the clients, rather hiring recruiters in one go. When we
Mhm.
got good clients, then we started hiring people for our organizations, recruiters. My partner Vinay was directly in touch with the clients, rather hiring a BD for our organization. So we didn't invest in one go. So we didn't suffer a lot during the COVID. Definitely, we were not able to expand our business during that time. But yes, we were not stuck where we didn't have finances to manage. Means we didn't have a lavish office. We started with a co-working space area where like we don't have to pay a big amount of rent, we don't have to pay big salaries. So that is the way we managed during our tough times, because lots of things we were taking off our own. And we didn't invest a lot in a big portals. So we were taking care of our investment very wisely there.
Okay, great. Great. Happy to hear that. So you would say now you're fulfilled and your work-life balance is basically in balance?
To be very honest, I have a small kid. I have a
Hmm.
7-year-old kid, and
Great.
being a mother of small, uh, of course, it is very, very difficult to manage the work life balance. And my business needs me right now because we
Hmm.
are in a process to expand it.
Hmm.
Right. So, work life balance, I'm not focusing at the moment because I'm focusing more on the business. I would like to expand it. And recruitment is my passion. It's not
Hmm.
that someone is pushing me to do that, or it's not even at midnight if I'm getting any response on LinkedIn, I'm happy to answer that person because it make me excited. And so right now I'm not focusing on work life balance. Definitely it is impacting a lot, but I need some time to focus on business, and probably after some time definitely I'll focus on the work life balance thing. But at
Hmm.
the moment I'm completely focused on my
Hmm.
business.
Hmm. Yeah, you know that the the time will come where basically your performance suffers because of an unbalanced work-life balance, right? Um, so um, if you're saying the time will come, do you have an estimation how long you want to scale your business and invest so much time into scaling it? Are we talking about months, years, or?
I'm aiming for 1 year because,
Hmm.
as you know, that it's been 2 3 months only when I'm completely into my business. So
Hmm.
It's not that I have to start from the scratch. It's already been into the market from last 4 5 years. So
Hmm.
I don't have to start from the scratch. But now I'm fully into the business. So I'm aiming that probably in next 1 year I'm able to settle it out down, and I'll able to enable my team to work independently.
Hmm. Hmm. So you want to bring the company to the state where your team can handle more tasks, so you have a bit more time for your child and for your family, and also to recover and reboot and being able to be innovative again and creative again, like the skills that suffer a little bit when we go all in for a period of time.
Yeah, definitely,
Mm.
definitely. I'm aiming for the same, and because I worked with a startup from last 8 years, I was working with Art Pushup, and when I joined, it was this organization of 10 people, and now it's more than 150.
Oh wow.
And I hired interns in my team and make them enable, and they were able to take care of everything. And now when I left, they are doing it well, right? So I am good in enablement. I think that is my skill, and I'm focusing at the moment to enable people more so that they can work and I can focus on my personal life as well.
Mm. Good point. Good solution. I really like that. So, with all your experience, if you could give like one advice to first time startup founders in the early stage, what would that be?
As I mentioned, don't invest at once. Don't
Hmm.
put everything in one go. Just observe wherever you are investing is working fine, or then do it gradually rather going in one go. Because and always have a backup plan whenever, because things are very uncertain, and you should always have a backup plan
Hmm.
if you're running your own organization, and this
Hmm.
industry specifically is very uncertain, so your backup plan will help you to perform better, definitely.
Amazing. Serbi, thank you so much for your insights and all the best for your startup.
Thank you so much, nice talking to you.
Same here. Have a good day.
You too, bye bye.